Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Thanks for being here today on day 61 of the income stream. We're gonna have a lot of fun today because I'm gonna take you through some of the process of what it's like to start a business from scratch, from the very beginning. And a lot of the things that you have to sort of think about and worry about and some of the challenges that you might face, I wanna make sure that we break a lot of those down so that you can go forward and conquer and actually make some great opportunities coming out of this crazy situation. Also, some fun announcements. We're gonna go into the iPad, we're gonna do some drawing a little bit, and we're gonna just, again, have some fun, learn some stuff, hopefully come out of this even better, more knowledgeable, and with direction for you to move forward with. So again, thank you so much for being here today on the income stream. Let's have some fun.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much. My name is Pat Flynn, here to help you make more money, save more time, and help more people too. If you're brand new to the show, thank you so much. You might have caught me on the news recently, whether it was my KTLA interview last week or Good Day Austin today. Well, it's Good Morning, but it was Good Day Austin was the name of the show. Fox 7, those of you in Austin, thank you so much for joining me today. We're doing a lot of news things because the news is really interested in what I have to say about what to do if you get laid off, because in fact, that's what I have done, not during this time, but in another very similar era back in 2008. I got laid off from the architecture industry, took some knowledge I had about an exam. It took me a while, did not happen overnight, I'll promise you that. But eventually I came out on the other end much better, much happier, and I'm so thankful that I got let go. So if you happen to have been let go recently or know somebody who has recently been let go, let's give them some encouragement and let's help them realize that, well, there's better opportunities potentially, and I'm gonna help you through that today in learning how to start a business from scratch. A couple other big announcements. Number one, I just have to give a big shout out to one of our own here. His name is Ern. Rap in Combat is his alias. And in fact, we all need to congratulate him today because he is a brand new father. His son Jace just entered the world not too long ago, and Rap and Combat's been here almost since day one, I think since day one, and has caught every single episode, I think, along with a few other people in here. But let's all give a big warm welcome to Jace, and big shout out and thank you to Rap and Combat. He's also the founder of the Slack channel and the community here for this group, which is really cool. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, just wow, life-changing, right? And I think that ties into a lot of what we're gonna talk about today, not specifically Ern having a baby and what that's like, because that's, I know, very crazy, especially when you have a newborn and you're like holding it in your hands, you're like, oh my gosh, you're a little version of me, what am I gonna do? I remember when I had my son, I just didn't, I had never really held a baby before that, and I was just so afraid of breaking him, but babies are really resilient. What also is apparent, not just from my own story, but a lot of other people's stories who I know are parents and entrepreneurs, is that there's this thing called the baby effect. And in fact, it's one of the best ways to become productive in your business. I'm not telling you if you want to become productive in your business, like go have a baby. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is when you have something that important in your life that's worth fighting for, that's worth creating for, that's worth supporting, you can't help but want to be productive and make sure that the things that you do are actually worth doing and worth moving forward with, which I think is great. So yeah, don't take this as advice like, hey, if you want a productive business, like go have babies. That's not what I'm saying. But you do stop wasting time when you have a kid and you're like, I need to take care of my kid. I need to take care of my wife or my spouse who's also helping to take care. And if I'm in my office doing business stuff and I happen to catch myself going down a YouTube rabbit hole or a Facebook rabbit hole, well, that's time you're taking away from those that are obviously more important for you and to you. So I can't tell you how many things I cut out when I had a kid in terms of the work that I was doing. In fact, everything I did started to be questioned. Is this worth time taking away from my kid? And in many cases it was, because it was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna focus on that's gonna make some big results in my business, or at least give me a chance. And then the other stuff was just fluff and extra and work that actually wasn't moving the needle forward, right? So this is the income stream with Pat Flynn. That's right, Wazwan. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you Chris says, shh, my wife will hear you. What are you doing? My apologies. Sorry, Chris, but I gotta help out both sides. April says, when I had my son, it was only then that I realized that it meant to have unconditional love, or what it was like to have unconditional love for another human being. Amen to that. Jace says, so my 6 kids are why I'm so productive. Dude, Jace, you're one of the most productive people I know. Jace, by the way, has this amazing YouTube channel, TikTok family, and you're not a TikTok family, but you are on TikTok. And Jace, my friend, is just an amazing YouTuber. Check out his channel if you can, because he's just incredible. And he's interviewed me for his podcast before. Definitely check out his podcast too. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. So many people here are parents, and I'm always surprised indeed. Zoom effect, cool. Thank you so much. We got the surprise Zoom effect, or just the regular Zoom. The contemplative, I wonder what that book is. I can't even read it from up here. Okay, anyway. So today we're going to talk about getting started with your business. And in fact, it's on top of my mind, not just because Rap in Combat, Ern, has just had a kid, not just because of the layoff, and not just because I've been doing a lot of these news streams lately. And again, big shout out to Good Day Austin, whose show I was on this morning for Fox 7. But because I think it's just on all of our minds, and there's always opportunities out there. However, starting a business is a hard thing to grasp, and this became very apparent to me when I first started myself. But even when I put all the things that you should do in a book called Will It Fly, it's still hard, because even though I walk you through that process, it's not an overnight thing. It's not like a book like The Miracle Morning, one of my favorites, by Hal Elrod. If you've never heard of The Miracle Morning, you should definitely check it out. It's a book simply about the idea of waking up earlier and being productive for yourself first. Everything from meditation to affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and journaling. That's all covered in the book. And it's a very short book, very easy concept to grasp. You could literally do it tomorrow and follow his process and get results. You'll feel more energized. It's a thing that's worth sharing. Starting a business, like in Will It Fly, it's a lot harder to grasp. And this is why and I've talked to Hal about this. This is why The Miracle Morning has sold 500,000 copies in just Brazil alone, because it's so easy to grasp. Will It Fly? Not so much. In fact, Superfans, my other book, is much easier to grasp than Will It Fly, and it's actually becoming more viral than Will It Fly. But Will It Fly, my book there, has all the things that you need to know, right? All the things that you need to know to get started with your business. And in fact, Will It Fly is available for free right now. If you go to this website here, which is smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit, you'll be taken to this page, which is where you can go and actually you'll see some courses and other things that are given away for free. Let Go, my book about getting let go, but also having to let go of who I thought I was supposed to be before I became an entrepreneur, is there. And in addition to that, you can see Will It Fly there for free as well. Those are just PDF files that you can download, and you can go from there, which is really great. And in fact, what we're going to do today is go through a little bit of the things that I talk about in my course, Smart from Scratch. And again, I created the book, Will It Fly, to help solve that problem. How do you create your next business idea without wasting your time and money? So go and read it. It's free, literally. But people still wanted help. That was the interesting thing. I didn't know that this course would exist. But this course is free during this pandemic. It is normally $249. And it has served over $3 million worth of people right now, which is pretty crazy. We've sold or have given away over $3 million worth of Smart from Scratch. So again, one more time, smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit is where you want to go. You can grab those things there because I'm wanting to help you out. A lot of people already making progress, already taking advantage of that. And I'm super proud of all you who are taking advantage of that, because there's some really great things that are happening. But let me just go to the iPad right now. We're going to frame our minds around what it might take to get started here. Karma, thank you so much for the super chat. Bruh. Appreciate you. So a couple frameworks to give to you. Number one, a lot of people are in this moment in time, having gotten laid off and wanting to figure out, okay, well, what can we do to make more money? How might we be able to ask for more help? And that's a great way to think about it, because you don't get unless you ask, right? But the way to approach a business is to go from, asking for help. The way to start a business is to do the opposite. It's ask to help. And the example I've been giving in my news spots is, in fact, about a friend of mine. Her name's Amy. She's actually been asking around because she's a singer. She's not a professional singer, so she's never really even taught singing before. But as we all know, there's a lot of parents at home now who have kids that are stuck at home, and we want to give them some stuff to help educate them, to help make them entertained and to, give the parents some time back, right? So she's actually gone around and helped by going and asking, hey, would you like me to help your kids learn how to sing? And I can take some time off your backs. And in fact, she's actually starting a business as a result of this right now, which is really cool. She's only got like 3 or 4 parents, and it's just people around her neighborhood because she's not really comfortable yet going out there and expressing this with the world. So I'm not going to share any website because there is no website yet. That's the other thing. You don't necessarily need a website to get started, but she's going out there and to supplement her income. She's actually going and teaching other kids in her neighborhood how to sing. And she's just simply asking other parents, hey, might you need help? Might you need some time back? Might I be able to help your child sing a little bit? And it's always framed in the mind of, well, what can I do in service to others, right? That's the biggest and first business lesson for you. It always comes from a place of service, right? How can you help others? I remember I was walking back when I could walk around malls, and there was a bulletin board. And the bulletin boards where people put pins up, they have them at Starbucks as well, where they're like, hey, hire me for this service. And they have sometimes the piece of paper with the strips on the bottom that you can pull out. I remember, I don't know why this came to mind, but I remember seeing one and it said, I would love to walk your dog. That was the headline. It was for dog walking, right? I would love to walk your dog. I love dogs. I would love to walk your dog. I'm a great dog walker. I've been walking dogs for 10 years. The only thing great about that pitch was the fact that they said that they were walking dogs for about 10 years. Everything else, wrong. Just absolutely wrong. Now, why do you think that's wrong? It's wrong because it's very self-centered, right? If you're looking to help others, why are you talking about yourself the whole time? It is important to talk about yourself. I hope that you love dogs. I hope that you have qualifications or perhaps have done this before. But somebody who hasn't done this before can do much better by reframing it from not asking for help. Hey, help me make money because I want to walk dogs. No, it's let me help you get time back. Let me help your dog get the exercise they need because you're probably too busy to do that, right? So just a shift in approach goes a very long way. So this framework of how to get started, it always should come from a place of service, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, I want to talk about this importance of how big it needs to be, right? Let me just delete all this stuff for you really quick. I probably should be in layers right now. Actually, Procreate's probably a better one that I should go into. Right now I'm in Notably. Am I in Notably? Yeah, Notably. I think I want to go to Procreate, which is kind of an interesting name for. All right, let's go to Procreate. I don't know, there might be a drawing up here. My daughter. Sub to Mr. Beast, please. What is she doing? She loves Mr. Beast. That's so funny. Okay, so let's create a new screen here, and hopefully we're on the right setting. I need to change this to, let's do drawing. Let's do Blackburn, and let's change this pen size or pen color to black. Cool, that works. Okay, and we got, hopefully we got layers up in here. Cool. All right, so next, this idea of helping, this idea of 1,000 true fans. Now, what I love about this is an article by a man named Kevin Kelly. And many of you who have heard me talk about this before, it's talked about in Superfans, my book, but 1,000 True Fans is really great because it really puts into perspective, well, how big of a business do we really actually have to have in order to start something new? Whenever I talk to people about starting new businesses, oftentimes it's specifically about the idea of, well, wanting to create the next Uber, or what's the next fidget spinner? What's the brand new invention that I could create that nobody's ever thought of before? And in fact, that's the wrong way to approach it. Yes, you can create businesses like Uber and create another brand new invention like I've done myself with the SwitchPod, in fact. Although, honestly, that was just taking something that worked sort of well and creating a version that worked really well. So trying to invent something completely brand new could actually work against you because it's not proven yet. In fact, what happened to the Segway? You remember when the Segway was supposed to revolutionize how people moved around and that walking was going to be like the old school thing to do? Well, guess what? The Segways are only seen on beach tours and tours around, and they're for mall cops, right? So it didn't really do what it thought it was going to do. So they validated that, well, people still want to walk and still want to drive and still want to, have their 2 feet. But you can take something that has been done before and make it better. So you don't necessarily need 1 million people. In fact, as Kevin Kelly says in his article here, you don't need a blockbuster hit in order to have something really successful that you can sort of get behind and that can get behind you. In fact, what if you only had 1,000 true fans? A true fan being somebody who loves your work and will support you with it. So much so that it doesn't really matter what you create, they're going to support it anyway. That's the higher level of engagement there. Like, they love you so much like how there are Apple fanboys or people in my audience here in the Quaranteam who, if I come out with a new product, most people, a lot of those people at the top of the pyramid, well, they're going to buy it without even having to read the sales page because you trust me and you understand that I have what you might need. That's not everybody, and I need to continue to work to earn that trust with other people who have just found me, but that can happen too, and that can happen for you too. Now, you don't need millions of people. You just need 1,000 because, as he says, what if you do the math, right? Let's do the math here. So if you were to take 1,000 people and multiply that by $100 per year, right? That's $100 per year. That's less than what we pay often for monthly charges that aren't really things that are useful or we need, right? Like cable television, for example. So that's $100,000 a year right there. That's $100,000 a year. And of course, there's a lot of other variables there, right? There's a lot of, there's taxes and there's, what is it that you're going to sell? And there's a lot of things, but this is just putting into perspective that you don't need to go huge to have something that could massively help and support you. So this really narrows down the idea of the fact that, well, we don't have to create something for everybody. And in fact, I remember I was interviewed on a podcast not too long ago. It was, it was actually quite a while ago. It was 2012, I think. But I was talking about this the other day with somebody else. And that podcast was Mixergy with Andrew Warner. Let me know if you've ever heard of Mixergy and Andrew Warner. Well, I was on his show and he asked me, and what I love about his show is just he gets right to the point. He asks really tough questions that a lot of people aren't necessarily comfortable asking, in fact. And what he had asked me was, hey, so you built this business helping people pass an architecture exam, right? It's a niche business within a business. It's the lead exam. Like hardly anybody's ever heard of that. You've built this security guard training website for people starting security guards to be security guards. But this other thing about food trucks, like, okay, why not focus your energy on creating the next big thing, right? Why are you playing small? You're not helping anybody. You can't go big unless you're helping people, like, for the masses. And he gave an example of, like, you need to create the next Excel or the next, Dropbox for college students or something, bigger niches that you can serve more people with. That's how you grow big businesses. And that's who he was used to interviewing, really giant startups. But he had been asked so often to have me on his show that he just started off with that question. I was like, wow, that's a really good question. But here's the thing. I might not be creating something to change the entire world, but I'm creating something to change somebody's world. In the architecture space, there was this little world of passing this little tiny exam called the LEED exam. But there were thousands of people who needed help who were absolutely struggling, and nobody was stepping up to help them. There was a lot of information about how to be an architect and a lot of information about that throughout the years, but this was a fairly brand new exam that nobody's really talked about before. And when I stepped up to create a website to help people in that space, it started to get a lot of reach, and a lot of people started to share it, both on websites and in forums, but also word of mouth. Malini, thank you so much for the super chats. There's been some other super chats here as well that I want to make sure I don't miss. Let me just scroll through. 90 Degrees, thank you for all the help in keeping us sane during these trying times. That's why I'm here. I'm here to serve you. Thank you so much. So anyway, I responded and he was like, wow, that's really clever. And I like that idea because a lot of people don't feel like there are people out there that are just for them. And that's what you can do. You can step up and help just a few people. Now, even 1,000 people, that's where you want to end up. That's not where you start. Don't try to find 1,000 people. In order to get started, my best piece of advice for you is try to get one person, get them one result. Get one person, one result. That's sort of your direction, right? So again, this putting into perspective, you don't need to help everybody. Now, how would helping one person get a result help you? Now, whether you choose to do that for free or not, hopefully you can potentially even get paid for that, like my friend Amy, who's helping one parent help occupy her child's time and teaching them singing so that the parent who can get a result, not just a better singer, but also time back, right? That's essentially what she's been up and promoting is giving the parents time back, not necessarily just helping the kids sing. That's been working really well for her. And now that 1 turned into 2, and that 2 turned into 4. And where there is one person who has one problem, there are likely others, even if it's a small niche. The riches are in the niches, as I often say, right? You've likely heard me say that before. Now, the other thing about this is this makes so many things a lot easier. So when we consider one person, one result, here's what happens. There's less competition. Number 1. There's not as many competition. There's not as many people serving that same audience. Number 2, quicker to authority. You become a specialized person. Specialized. That's the key word there. You are specialized. That's how you can actually complement the competition, right? No longer is it competition. It's in fact, camaraderie. It's complementary, if you will. Number 3, easier focus for you. You don't have to try and find 20, 30, 100 people. You just have to find one. So findability is easier. Where to go? Oops. Where to go to find these people is easier too. And number 5, when you get a result, everything else unlocks. When you get that one result, you essentially are learning as you go. And you have room to make mistakes because it's with one person who you can be completely honest and authentic with versus trying to get a group or even an email list of 100 people, then launching an idea. That comes later. Getting one person, one result teaches you a number of things. It teaches you whether or not you can actually help a person get a result, right? And to use this as experimentation. You might have some hypothesis about what you're doing and how you can help people, but this is where you put that to the test in a little petri dish with one person so that you can test this out. Number 2, when you get a result, guess what else you're gonna get? A testimonial. You're gonna have somebody who you've actually helped so that, number 3, when you go out there, you're gonna be that much more confident in finding more people, and they're gonna be more confident in you. Number 4, this will also teach you whether or not you like doing this or not. You might have an idea, and we'll go into how to find ideas in just a second, but you might have an idea and go, okay, I think I might wanna try this. You try it with now one person instead of 1,000 or 100,000 or whatever goal you're trying to get. And you go, wow, I actually don't like doing that. Well, thankfully, you only did it with one person so that now you can pivot onto something else and find another person to get one result for, and maybe a different way in the same realm or something completely different and completely random. Let's see. There was a question from Jonathan. Is that something you would put in your home page as a call to action? 100% guarantee I'll give you at least one result you're looking for. Great question. I wouldn't even have a website yet, right? This goes counter to what a lot of people assume is building a website. Here's what most people assume building a website is. Most people assume that building a website is 1, I need a website, which means number 2, I need a logo, which means then number 3, I can use that logo on social media. So then I'm going to put my logo on there and get my social media accounts. And then number 4, now I'm gonna make a business card. And then number 5, then I'm gonna shout from the rooftops and hopefully find people. Shout. Well, what's missing here? We haven't tested our business idea. How do we know what our logo is gonna be about? How do we know what our positioning is? How do we know what our website's gonna look like or what to even put on it if we haven't even helped the person get a result yet? So before you get a website, before you even get an email list, I would go to your network and friends and your social media accounts and anybody who you're connected to right now and go, hey, I want to offer you some time back. And if you want to learn, or if you want your kids to learn art right now, I'd be more than happy to teach them. I'm doing a Zoom call tomorrow, and I'm just gonna offer it for $10. Anybody who wants to take me up on that offer, let me know. Just Venmo me the $10. I'll send you the Zoom link after, and we'll see what happens. I've never done this before, but I wanted to do it because I'm looking for some extra cash, but I also know that I have this talent and I can help your kids and I can help fill out some time. Here is what you need. You just need, 10 pieces of paper. You need some colored pencils and print out these templates that I have for you. Boom, that's it, right? I don't even have the website. It's just literally done through social media, direct messages perhaps, and then a Venmo, like send me Venmo or send me money through the Cash App, and that's it, right? You don't even need a specific payment processor to do it. Just see if you can make it work. And then you do the session, and then you go from there. So then it becomes, wow, I really like this. I want to take this a little bit further. Now I'm going to build, for example, a landing page or a website to share my art and to share some of the results that I've offered for some of these students. And then you can build out from there. Oh, Jonathan says, did he answer my question? Luke says, whoa, that's a huge idea, Pat Flynn. I love this. Maybe I'll try it myself. Sherry says, have website, Facebook page, tiny story for sale, need illustrations for the book. It is activism, so lots of info. Need to create email lists. Not sure how to do it. Anyone up to help? Again, let's try to make this easy. This is the biggest question that I got from Tim Ferriss. This is the question here that really changed everything for me in terms of productivity and getting started. If this were easy, what would it look like? If this were easy, what would it look like? What would be the way to promote this and make this happen with the least amount of friction possible? It's so funny because we don't think about that. We entrepreneurs, will go, what's the most, like we don't say this, but we do this. What's the most complicated way to do this? What's the most stressful, most overwhelming way to do this? How many of you can agree with that we've taken that approach more than the, well, if this were simple, what would it look like approach? And I got to thank Tim Ferriss for helping me frame my mind around that. For example, when I started going live, right? I was just like, hey, what would this look like if it were easy? What's the easiest way to do this? Oh, there's this software called Ecamm. Yes, I could use OBS, I can get the vMix thing, and I can do all this other stuff, but Ecamm will make it simple, and I'll just use a webcam. Now, thankfully, I had some camera equipment already set up for me for filming online courses, and that was the easiest method for me. Langisa, thank you so much. Thank you, these live sessions. I enjoy them here in South Africa. Cool. So as you can see, we haven't talked about building a website yet. We haven't even talked about a business name. We were just simply finding people a result. A lot of people come to me and they go, Pat, should I create an online course or should I do coaching or what should I do for my business? I'm like, well, who are you helping? And what do they need help with? And so that's what we're going to go where we're going to go next. How might you know who to help or where to go next? Now, if you take this course, Smart from Scratch, which is again free here at smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit, that is where you should be able to go to get access to this course. We've given away over $3 million worth of that. And I'm going to actually take you into this course right now so I can share with you. Whoops, I did not mean to move that. This is what the course looks like from the inside. And you'll see these videos, they're 5, 10, 15 minutes in length, and they walk you through a step-by-step process. And in fact, here is the lesson that we're going to talk about right now. Let me just play this video for you. And this is inside access to this course. All right, welcome to lesson 4. In this lesson, I want to share something really important with you. And that is, if you try to build a business for everybody, you're actually going to build a business for nobody. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is if you try to serve a huge audience in this general market that you found in the last exercise, you're actually not going to do very well because there's a lot of competition out there. And that, okay, we've talked about that already, but what I want to take you into is the 777 exercise. And here, I'm not going to go through the entire process because it's literally all here for you. You can walk yourself step by step through that if you'd like. But essentially what I want to do is go to the iPad and go over a exercise that I share in here and some of the best practices related to that. Oopsies, I'm running on a hidden layer. Let's create a new layer. There we go. So this is the 7, 7, 7 exercise. Why 7s? Well, just, I don't know, lucky numbers, slot machine. It doesn't really matter. It's arbitrary. But what we're going to look at is 7 problems, 7 passions, 7 fears. And we're going to write these down. In fact, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to do problems, and I'm not going to do full 777, but I'm just going to walk you through the process so when you do this on your own, you'll be able to actually understand what's going on here, right? So from your own personal experience and from what you know in this world, you write down 7 problems that you might have or you might know other people have. They have to come from you, though. A lot of people come to me and they go, Pat, should I start with keyword research? And I'm like, no, because you're going to start with what other people are searching for that has nothing to do with you. And this is where you fall into the trap of building a business that even if it were to be successful, it's going to fail ultimately because you're just not into it. It doesn't come from you, right? So it has to have some tie to you. Now, do you have to have absolute passion for that thing? No, you can't build a business on passion alone. Passion is important, but passion doesn't pay the bills. Passion will keep you going through a project. Passion is something that keeps things exciting and interesting, even though it's hard. And that's an important piece of the puzzle. A lot of P words here. But I prefer if you pick a niche that promises, okay, I'm gonna stop. I prefer if you choose something that comes from you, but there has to be some business model there. You have to get paid for it. You have to have something that's worth people investing into it so that you can get paid for it. That's really important. So the passion and the problems that people will want to get out of, or there's just needing to be some convenience there that you can help people through, well, that's really important. So what happens here when people do this, and I've noticed this, and this is the most common objection, is they go through these problems and they write down all of these things and they're like, wow, there's 21 things here. I don't even know what to pick. Well, this is where you start to go, okay, well, let me start to cross some of these off. If I can actually choose the right color here. There we go. So I'm gonna mark that one off. That one, like, I can't imagine doing a business on these things. Wait, what happened to my screen? It should be okay. No, you're good. You're good. Like these ones won't work. I can never do a business about that. Or hey, this one obviously doesn't have a business model. And then what you're gonna have is you're gonna have some that are like here. Ooh, those are interesting. This one's interesting, and these are interesting. They're interesting. But mind you, this is not your business idea yet. This is the seed for where business ideas can come from. So let's say, for example, that this is like, I don't know, you like gaming. And gaming, gaming, a problem in gaming is just gaming equipment and like speed, right? I'm just like making this up as I go. But I'm like, okay, well, that's not my business. Like, what am I gonna talk about how fast computers are? I don't know yet, but this at least stems from me so that I can move on to the next step, right? But you're not selecting it permanently. It's not like, all right, I found it, that's gonna be my business idea. No, you found a few that are potentials. And with each of these, we need to go to the next step so we can understand more about them and then decide, okay, well, what do we want to do? And what within that do we want to be known for, right? Or what do we want to help people with? Where might there be some passion within each of these things? The passion can come from just helping others. It doesn't necessarily mean to have a passion for, like, I didn't have a passion for security guard training, but I had a passion for figuring out how to help those people because my mom was a security guard, right? So I had some passion there to help that people, and I understood that career a little bit, but I didn't personally have a passion for that. I became a passion to become the expert curator to help find the information. And then from here, what we want to do is let's just take gaming equipment and speed, just since that's our example for whatever reason. So gaming equipment and speed. So we're going to start with that and move on to the next exercise, which is where we create our market map. Your market map is really important because that is what's going to give you a sense of what's in this space, right? A market map. Now, a map, what does a map do? A map gives you the lay of the land. A map gives you an understanding of what's there so that you know where to land your plane. A market map gives you the places that you have to stay away from. It helps you understand if it's a rough terrain or a smooth terrain. It helps you understand where you might be able to set up your home, right? You don't go somewhere without looking at a map unless you're just kind of wandering. And wandering is okay. It's okay to wander, but if you're starting a business, you need to navigate a little bit. You have to have some sort of framework to navigate within. If you're wandering and you're a business owner, you're going to wander your way off the map. You're going to wander your way into something that you don't like. You're going to wander your way into burnout. You're going to wander your way into a niche that you're not interested in and have to start over later. So what we want to do is we want to create the map. So how does this map work out? By the way, let me know in the chat if you're getting valuable information here. I am not looking at the chat as much as I normally do because I'm highly involved in this sort of training today, but hopefully this is helpful. And then tomorrow we're going to go to step 2. What are the next steps from there? So this week we'll essentially be building one on top of the other. So market map. What is a market map? We're going to find your 3 Ps. That's what we wanted to do, the 3 Ps. So P number 1 is places. P number 2 is people. And number 3, I don't know why, like I'm looking at my, I'm looking at that E and that E. Why is it different? I don't know, probably just because I'm a little bit nervous being here live with y'all and doing this, but that's okay. Places, people, and products. So what we want to do is find all the places that this target audience exists. Remember, we're talking about like gaming. It's a very general niche, gaming industry. It's a very general niche, but I want to find all the places where people who are interested in the gaming industry go to. Then I want to find all the people. Who are the people who are the leaders in this space already? Who have the top social media accounts? Who own those websites? Who are the podcasters in that space? And then I want to find the products, right? I want to find the products in that space that is already being offered. Physical, digital, coaching, services, whatever. And I'll tell you, this exercise alone gives you a lay of the land of what's in that space. And immediately you can do a few things with this. You can look at this and go, I don't really see space for me here. There isn't really anything in here that I can imagine myself waking up in the morning getting excited about and creating content for and connecting with people about. And even if I were to have a product, like it doesn't really interest me at all. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, okay, gaming industry idea from that market map. No, no, we're done with that one, right? That might just not work out. And so you can move on to the next one. So you can go back to your market map, right? You can go back to your market map and go, okay, well, that one didn't work. Whoa, that one didn't work. I'm gonna move on to something else. So now I'm gonna go back to the market map and I'm gonna try a different one. That's one scenario. Another scenario is that you come here and then you're like, whoa, I'm noticing some patterns here and here, along with these people. Like all these people do reviews for games, like before they come out. And in fact, there's a lot of courses about how to take these games, or how to be better at first-person shooter games, for example. All these things are within alignment with like the things that I like, and that's really interesting. So I'm going to move on to the next steps after that. So now you have a sign that at least this particular idea that you have is worth moving forward with, and then you can go from there. Now, another thing might happen is it may not be so clear, but it might be a maybe, in which case, okay, this is potential, right? Potential. And there's some things in here that are interesting that I might and can potentially gather some ideas for. But again, what is our business model? We don't know yet. Remember what I said earlier? A lot of people come to me and they go, Pat, what's my business model? I'm like, who are you serving? What do they need help with? That's essentially what we want to find. We want to find the biggest problem that we can help solve, because that's what all good businesses do, big and small. And remember, we're starting small. The riches are in the niches. What might we be able to do to help people? That's where these ideas can come from. And then tomorrow, we're going to go into a little bit more understanding of, well, how can you figure out what exactly their pains are, and how might we collect that information? Where on the internet can we go, and how might we have conversations with people to figure out, well, is this going to work or not? Because that's ultimately what we want to do here. We need to put in the work up front so we can reap the benefits later and figure out, should we keep going? And that's essentially what we're doing here. We're trying something in a small petri dish, and if that experiment works, okay, let's move on to the next step. If it doesn't, let's go back to the last step that did work and go from there, right? So this is green light to move on to the next, green light to move on to the next, green light to move on to the next. Cool. So I'm more than happy to start answering questions, but I just wanted to present that initial starting process with you. That's what the first part of the course really is about, and why it's there to help you. As you'll see here, after discovering your niche, we're going to research your customers, and we're going to actually promote your business, position your business idea. So that comes later, right? That comes later. So finding out your business ideas, discovering your niche within that, And then tomorrow we're going to go into researching the customers a little bit more, discovering, okay, well, what within this space of gaming, for example, might people need help with? And how might we position something that we might create, right? And then move forward from there. We're going to refine and adjust, and then test, and then build your own course. Or excuse me, not build your own course. This is the course to help you actually build that website once you finally have that idea. But that comes later, right? That comes creator. Dole Whip Dad says, do you have or have a recommendation for a Procreate tutorial? Honestly, I just spent 30 minutes to figure it out. I downloaded this not knowing what to do. I'm not a pro, I'm not an artist, but I went in here and I figured out how to do the layers, maybe because I had some examples in Photoshop that I'm used to. It works in a very similar way as Photoshop with the different layers and such. But yeah. Chris says, I can see the benefit of going through Smart from Scratch exercises every few years. Yeah, it's great because who you were 3 years ago might be different than who you are now and what your goals are. In fact, a lot of the part of Smart from Scratch and Will It Fly that's really key is understanding, well, where do these business ideas align with where you want to go? In fact, that's a really important part of the process, because I know a lot of people who, for example, have very successful businesses on paper, but they're unhappy. And that's sad, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you can create whatever it is you want to create. You can go whatever direction you want to go. Yet you ended up somewhere that you're not happy with. How did that happen? And a lot of times it's because people don't take the approach of not just how might I help others. They want to help themselves first, but they get so greedy about just having it be all about the money. Now, you do need to make money, and that's an important part. But when you can focus a little bit of that attention, in addition to the money, to who might you help and how might this fit into your future, well, that's where you start to have this wonderful marriage of business idea and something that's going to be something that you're going to be happy with and excited to wake up every morning for. It's really important to know where you want to go, because that helps you make decisions. In fact, in my book, Will It Fly, and in Smart from Scratch, there are some exercises specifically about understanding, well, what are your goals like 5 years from now? In fact, there is an exercise called the airport test, which I think this would be a perfect place to demonstrate it. So the airport test works like this. Imagine 5 years down the road, you are at the airport, once we can all go back to the airport, and you feel a tap on your shoulder. You're sort of waiting for your next flight, but you got a couple hours to kill. And then you feel a tap on your shoulder, and it's your friend from way back when. You haven't seen them in a long time, but you guys were really close and you've grown apart, but you happen to run into each other at the airport. So you go to the coffee bar and you get some coffee or some juice or something, and you're just sitting down, catching up. And this person asks you, hey, how's life right now? Like, what's been going on? How's everything treating you? And you reply with, life is awesome. Like, it couldn't get any better. And again, this is 5 years in the future. And then they go, well, tell me what's up. Like, tell me why it's so awesome. This is what we want to know. Why are we saying life is awesome 5 years from now? That's the positioning. In fact, I do have to give credit to where credit is due. This comes from Jay Papasan and Gary Keller. They use this exercise when they hire new prospects, because they want the person to tell them, Keller Williams Realty, which is the company, what they want. Where do they want to go? Where do they want to grow into? Because if they can see that they want to grow into something that they can't help with, well, it's better we know now than later when it's just going to be messed up and we'll have to find a replacement, right? An example that they shared with me once was they were interviewing somebody for a position, and this person said they wanted to be mayor one day. And that was really interesting for them to know. And that was a big ambition, a big goal of theirs. They were in politics. And Keller Williams Realty was like, well, you're way qualified, but we can't help you with your goals, because we think that if you truly want to go down that route and that's where you want to put your energy, well, you're not going to be serviced here. So let's part ways now. And I'm sorry, but no hard feelings. So the same thing happens with business ideas that you choose now, because if you know where you want to go in 5 years, a business idea that may look great on paper and in fact have a really clear problem that you can solve may not actually be the right thing for you. And it's important to know that now than later, right? So the airport exercise, the way that you actually structure it kind of works like this. If you divide a piece of paper into 4, this is how you know what you're going to say 5 years from now. And then what you want to do is create 4 sections here. And each quadrant, 1, 2, 3, 4, should be titled with something that is one of the most important areas of your life. So let's say, for example, for me, it might be family. Let's do health, fitness. Oh no, finances, sorry. And, let's say that this could be, hobbies. I like having hobbies. It could be any 4 things that you want, but these are my top 4. And what you start doing is bullet point listing out things that would support you saying that life is awesome 5 years from now, right? Here, work out 5 days a week. That's what I want to be doing. Family, dinner at the dinner table. As often as possible. Family, open honesty between all members. And you just write them all down, right? Financial goals, hobbies, video games. I would be more than happy if I got to play video games every week 5 years from now. Absolutely. So you do this exercise, and now you go, oh, here's an opportunity. Here's a business idea. In fact, here's a very personal example that's from me. I was once presented from a hosting company, a website hosting company, an opportunity to grow into becoming the CEO of that company. They knew that with my brand, not just be like a brand ambassador or just an affiliate, but actually get hired by the company. They were offering me incredible money. They were offering me the most massive benefits, and they were allowing me to work from home part of the time. But also a part of the year, I would have to be at the office and work from there too. And I'd have to be in charge of 450 people, and I'd have to worry about servers and warehouses and storage and all this other stuff. And even though the money was great, and even though I could have imagined what it might have been like, it was not something that I wanted and fit in alignment with my airport task goals, right? That's not where I want to be in 5 years. And because I'm so clear about where I want to go and what I want to do, now decisions are easier to say no to. And that's really hard when you don't know where you want to go. The reason why we don't say no often is because we're not sure if that actually is something we should have or not, right? But when you are sure with where you want to go and what you want to have, saying no becomes a lot more clear. And you can be proud. In fact, you can opt out of things with more clarity and no longer have FOMO. You have not even JOMO, joy of missing out. I don't like that phrase, joy of missing out. JOMO. There's been books about that now. It's sort of the opposite of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, joy of missing out. But I don't like JOMO, and here's why. Because you're still missing out. The missing out phrase is what I don't like. It's like yeah, my friends are having a party, but I'm happy being here at home. I'm missing out on the party that my friends are at. No. That's like faking yourself. I like JOOO. JO third. JO to the third power. The joy of opting out. The joy of opting out. JO cubed. Joe cubed. Well, that would be Joe. JO cubed. The joy of opting out. Yeah, hey, I know they're doing that party over there, but I am opting out because I know I have more important things to focus on. Hey, that business idea, that's an important thing to think about. And honestly, I've thought about it and I'm opting out because I know I have my priorities straight. And that focuses on the priorities, right? Not missing out. JOMO focuses on the thing you're missing out on. JO3 focuses on the things that you have said yes to. Because when you say yes to something new, you're saying no to something else, right? That's just what happens. Joe of figuring it out. That's a good one too. Joe X3. Your idea, like Brain Tracy, he recommended to write your goal on paper. Yeah, exactly. And again, it's not my idea. This comes from Keller Williams, but with their permission, I was able to put it into Will It Fly, and there we go. Make It Blue says a Disney adventure. What is the tool you use most to time manage your time and accomplish your goals for the day every day? Well, number one, I don't. So number one, my calendar. That's the number one primary tool, the absolute primary tool. There is a. I'm looking it up on Instagram because it was really. I loved it. It was from my good friend Sean West. Let's see if I can find it. Sean West. Here, in fact, I think I can pull this up on the computer. Instagram.com/ Sean West is a good friend of mine who is on sabbatical right now. but he still posts on Instagram. And I love this framework. Feeling stuck, don't treat projects as tasks. And this is what I do too. A bad to do would be like produce review video or product video review. Product review video. Good to do is write the video script. So that little thing. Record narration, that little thing. Shoot B-roll, that 30 thing. That little thing. So breaking projects down into tasks or steps is really key. So that this is what I was shooting for here. Hey, dude, Ern, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it, my friend. Please show Pat some love here now by hitting likes. Thank you so much. We got Sam with a super chat. Hey, Pat, sorry to interrupt you. Is it possible to do a website review today? CreateImpossible.com. Not doing any website reviews today, a little bit outside the context of the purpose of this week, which is to walk people through the steps to start a business. This whole week is going to be a series of videos. I wanted to mix it up a little bit, but I really love this framework here by Sean related to, thank you, Sam, by the way. But we'll get to you. Keep reminding me, or if you'd like, I might be able to do something on the side later, but I'm slammed today, so unfortunately I can't get to it, but I appreciate you. Let's see. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, indeed. So check out Sean's stuff. Feeling stuck, don't treat projects as tasks. Like the to-do is I'm going to, film this entire YouTube video today. No, the review is I'm going to, or the to-do is I'm going to write the script. I'm going to write the outline. I'm going to press record, and then I'm going to edit the video. Then I'm going to publish it. And then you'll be able to discover, wow, I can't do this all in one day, but I can break it up into little tasks, and I might be able to do it a little bit later. So again, trying to make these things that are much bigger, much easier, more consumable, much more compact, much more achievable. Because when things are huge like this, like starting a new business or these giant things we put on our to-do list, they become overwhelming. In fact, we often tend to avoid them because we know what we're about to get into. Versus if you just saw a small step, then you can move forward. And that's how Smart From Scratch breaks down the process of building a business and how I teach it in Will It Fly and Smart From Scratch. And again, if you want to get these things, smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit. I'm doing it the right way now. smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit is where you want to go. And that's again where you can find out and find these books and my course. And again, things for free to help you during this time. And that would be really great. And if you wanted to share that, you are more than welcome to do that. Also want to give a big shout out to today's sponsor. We have a sponsor for the live show. Yes, we haven't had that before. And for the last few days and through May 24th, our sponsor is Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is an amazing company that can help you get your podcast up and running as a podcast host. And what's really cool is, number one, their pricing plans are amazing. In fact, if you go to my affiliate link, which is smartpassiveincome.com/Buzzsprout, I'll take you there and show you what happens. smartpassiveincome.com/Buzzsprout. That'll take you to a referral link. And it says, hey, we've partnered with Pat Flynn. You can check out Buzzsprout. You'll get 33% more time added to your plan, which is really cool. And Buzzsprout does some other cool things, like when you upload your audio, they have this sort of magic that happens that makes your audio sound even better. They master it and mix it for you, which is really cool. You still have to edit your own shows, but they will make it sound much better on their end before it gets pushed out into the world. And I know the guys there, they really care about the success of their podcasters, and I'm a big fan of theirs. We use them for Ask Pat, and it's just the easiest one to use too. So smartpassiveincome.com/Buzzsprout is the affiliate link, and that's where you want to go to get additional time added to your plan. And in fact, what they're doing to help get the word out is, in fact, they're giving away a microphone in every single live stream. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the comments here. I'm going to pick somebody at random, and we're going to choose somebody to win the, thank you, Jonathan, appreciate you. We're going to choose somebody to win the Samson QTU mic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this view here. I'm going to scroll through the comments. By the way, thanks everybody for being in today. I appreciate you. There is my cursor up here. I'm going to scroll all the way to the top and then bottom, and wherever we end up, by the way, I'm going to go back to the top. So I'm going to start the music, and wherever the cursor ends up on, you win the prize. And I totally just messed up my camera here. There we go. All right, let's try this out. Good luck. Here's the cursor. The infinity. Whoa, that's great. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Vicky! Congrats, Vicky. You rock. Send an email to pat@patflynn.com. Again, pat@patflynn.com. Vicky, congratulations for winning the Samson QTU microphone. We'll We're going to hook you up with that. Just send us an email, pat@patflynn.com. Congratulations. Wow. You rock. You all rock. Thank you so much for starting my day the right way. And hopefully being here, it starts your day the right way too. We're all in this together. We got a lot of things going on, but hopefully you can see that this process of starting a business, although difficult, it's going to take the entire week to get through what I have planned. But I'm very glad that we had this conversation today to help probably just uncover some myths about starting a business. The idea that it has to be huge, that you have to create the next Uber or invent something completely brand new, when in fact, you might just need to help one person get one result. And when you do that, that unlocks a lot of confidence. It allows you to become more of an authority much quicker by narrowing down the riches are in the niches. And then the idea of actually understanding the space that you want to go to and where these ideas might come from. These ideas have to come from you. You have to have passion somewhere, but passion doesn't pay the bills. You have to combine that for when and where there are problems in that particular audience. And by going through the market map exercise, remember the 3 Ps. That's the the places, the people, and the products. So the places where that target audience exists. Let's discover those so we can understand who else or what else is out there and where these people might go. This market map also becomes very useful for you later. You'll see how in a second. The people who have already earned trust with that particular audience. These are the podcast hosts, the owners of these websites, the top social media accounts, the top industry leaders. That's who you want to know about. Then you want to discover the products, the things that are already being serviced and offered to that audience, because you can see, are they paying for things? What are they paying for? What are they not paying for? What are the price points? What are the strategies? And then you can learn a lot from there. So the places, when you're doing research, let's say you move on to the next step and you want to start finding beta students or people that initially learn about your course or something, whatever it is that you end up creating based on what you found. Well, now you have a list of all the places where these people exist that you can build relationships in. Let's say that you want to partner with somebody or you want to get in front of a larger audience to share a lot of opportunities in the things that you're working on or your expertise or your superpowers. Well, guess what? You have a list of all the people already who could potentially benefit and partner with you. Then you want to perhaps start affiliate marketing. Well, guess what? You have a list of all the products already that you want to serve people with that you could potentially make money from sooner through affiliate marketing. You don't have to create your own product from scratch. Maybe the service is helping people solve problems by promoting and recommending products that already exist. You are playing expert curator versus expert creator. Curator can be very useful and convenient for people too. That's being of service to people, being the expert curator in that space too. So, bruh spout. You're funny. Cool. I heard the hook. It's going to take all week to get it done. And we're going to go through it together. This will be a nice playlist that'll live on YouTube. By the way, I want to do something and I need your help with it. In fact, I think we have a little bit of time. So we've done the giveaway, which is cool. Let's make sure I'm not... Okay, we're good. I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to publish a brand new video right now in front of you. And if you could do me a huge favor for being here, if you could go watch that video, like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, that would be hugely valuable. We can help give momentum to this brand new video. So I'm going to go to computer right now. I'm going to go into my Creator Studio. And what we're going to do is go into videos. And we're going to go to create better YouTube videos. So last week, I actually shared this in a live stream and I refilmed it, made it much cleaner, and in fact, a lot stronger. So pay attention to the hook, pay attention to the process. So here's the title, Create Better YouTube Videos Faster, a 6-step process. And I'm doing something interesting here in the thumbnail, creating a little red border, something with an arrow pointing to YouTube. Hopefully it'll go very well. But what I'm going to do right now is literally click visibility. We're going to go public. And I'm going to hit done. Then I'm going to go to playlists. And I'm going to type in YouTube here so I can get all the YouTube playlist things that I have. And then I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to hit save. So this video is now live on the channel. And actually, to make it easier for me, what I'm going to do is go to copy link address. I'm going to go to patflynn.com/WP-admin. I'm going to go to pretty links. I'm going to add new. If you go to, let's see. If you go to this, patflynn.com/video. Yeah, I think that'll work. patflynn.com/video. So if you go to patflynn.com/video, that'll take you directly to that video. Let's just make sure that works. patflynn.com/video. I'm hoping to see some great acceleration coming off the start here.
All right, so here's the problem. Filming YouTube videos is hard. And if you've ever tried to film a YouTube video, it's not as simple as just turn.
Okay, cool. So if you could do me that huge favor, that'd be amazing. Even just to go and thumbs up and leave a comment, have people come see it. There's going to be a load of subscribers now watching this. You can have potentially more YouTube subscribers come your way, being early in the comments. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this video performs because I'm experimenting with a lot of things in there too. So, yeah, there we go. It was already set up. I spent some time yesterday creating the thumbnail, creating the title, adding things to the description, adding the tags. We'll see how this performs. We'll check in tomorrow and just get an update. But again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. patflynn.com/video to go directly to that. And we had a lot of fun today going into the iPad, drawing around a little bit. Hopefully this video will be useful for you. If you want to come back to it in the future, it'll be there. It'll live eventually on a playlist. And in the future, if you're watching this, just watch the next video that comes out in the playlist because that should help you through this process. And again, one more time, smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit is where you'd like to go to get access to all that great stuff. What's up, @Reef? Thank you so much for the super chat. We're donating to Project Cure this month, so thank you all in advance for the super chats and all to those who have donated already. And hey, great job today, everybody. Thank you so much. And as always, Team Flynn for the win. I'll see you tomorrow.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the income stream.
Thanks,
it's
everybody.
the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Thanks again, everybody, for being here. This has been a lot of fun. This hour goes by so quickly, and it's only because of you. So keep coming back if you can. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. This is the easy link to go to every morning. patflynn.com/theincomestream. Stay safe. Stay inside. Peace out. I'll see you later.
Bruh.